Good morning. Foggy. A lot of harbour. I don't know what to do with this phone. I need to zip up my jacket. Winter coats it. -degrees today. Waving to neighbours. Waking up and not knowing the safety of my son and daughter. I'm here for you, mums. I'm here for you, dads. I must get up first thing. I must leave the house. They may stop me from working in Scotland. When they do that, and a man's been working his whole life, men and women who work or build businesses, we create habits. And right now, we're creating habits that we don't understand ourselves. My hair is really white. I know there must be a reason for that. My dad had sort of black hair up until his death. My mum's going white, or my mum has been white since she was young, maybe 40. But I think it's since my tonsils were taken out as a kid. Have you had your tonsils removed? Have you had your tonsils taken out? Because many people that I meet that have had the first line of defence removed, and that's what the tonsils were. The tonsils are your bouncers. First line of defence against the things that we let in that cause us damage inside our bodies. Our tonsils are there, the first line of defence, the bouncers. Fists are up. How many of you have had your tonsils removed? Do you think that affects your life or the health for the rest of your life? Because I had mine removed when I was a child. I used to have sore heads, I used to get migraines, and I was supposed to get my nose cauterised, like have it all scraped and cleared. They done that, but they told me they decided to remove my tonsils, or they told my mother that. So have we bounced back, sprung forward, changed the time? It doesn't confuse the animals. The only people coming to visit me are foxes and cats. Big shout out to a neighbour that brought me across cat food for the cats that come and visit to the house. Thank you very much. That is very, very kind of you. So yesterday, as you may know, I'm always reaching out to try and get help. And in a very selfish manner, the help is for myself. I don't like not having the basics. Heating and hot water. But I've got a house, bricks and mortar. Not mine that I bought and paid for, not the one I've got the paperwork to show that I've got and own. CCTV cameras with lights, double lights on it. You're mental. The number of people using CCTV and it's actually following. No. Have you heard about your Ring doorbells yet? You know, having these doorbells doesn't stop you from being murdered at your doorstep and doesn't help anyone find the criminal, really. And if they do find the criminal, they'll more than likely shake his hand. I definitely need a pair of gloves. Yes, I know I've not been on for a number of days. I've not spoken to you or given you the secrets of my life or cried about missing my kids. Because no one cares. And if you're a mother or father and your children are being abused by the state, for example the paedophile state in Scotland that doesn't back up children or parents, only backs up violent feminists willing to abuse kids or paedophiles. It's all we back up here. Let's see, have we got anyone on this morning? I can't see, unfortunately. There's a few of you hanging around. One person's pressed like. There's over 900 people on here. One person's pressed like, 900 subscribers. So maybe those 850 subscriptions are just bots. I know there is about 50 to 100, possibly, people willing to put up a picture. But the vast majority are not even pictureless. They're just, no one's willing to comment from time to time to tell a father to kill himself. I do see love pouring up the side of the screen. That's very nice. We do have the winter jacket back on. I am jumping from subject matter to subject matter. It doesn't really matter what I'm jumping about from. If you're on here listening to me, you can be listening to a man you don't understand, or you can be listening to a man you think mumbles, or you can be listening to a man that he thinks talk nonsense. All of those things are true about me. The number one thing is I'm a man, and there's not very many of me left. There are a lot of wee fighting boys, cowards, drunk asses. And along with them, holding up society's Eastern Star paedophile protectors. Given little embossed certificates from the Catholic Church. Because the Catholics are running everything right now. Everything. And I'm a Catholic. Turncoat, I guess it would be called. So why are you talking about being 0 degrees and how cold it is outside? The men I watch or the women I watch tend to be homeless or tend to choose to be homeless. And they live on the outskirts of our towns or in the small forests within our villages. And they go from place to place or hang around for winter months to try and keep warm. Now anyone that's hanging around these streets from yesterday to today, we've dropped 10 degrees. So there's people outside last night sleeping at minus temperatures. There's fathers that have lost their homes, sleeping in forests and not getting to see their children. There's fathers that have lost their home, lost their job, lost their missus, and she's not lost anything. She's funded to make sure he loses everything. Maybe she's going to be wicked enough to make false allegations. Maybe she is that, maybe that's what she is. A bought off bitch. And as a man, you have to worry about everything that you do, that you say, how you think, how you act, after having every right we have as men and women withdrawn, stolen from me. So yesterday, I received a phone call from social services to check that I was alive. I received a phone call from social services in Glasgow by a little girl or a little lady employed to call my number up. Now my mum is very sick at this moment. And I received a phone call and the woman used my brother's name, my son's name and my dad's name. All the same name. And the lady in the phone asked me if I was the son of Josephine Day. Because my name's Joseph Day. And my granny's name is Josephine as well. And my uncle's name is Joseph. Because being a Catholic, Matthew and Joseph, it's like we have to name every child that other brother Christopher. When this lady called me and she was asking about my mum, my heart dropped. I was nearly crying. Don't hang it if you're phoning anyone and they've got a sick parent or sick anyone. Don't hang about to tell you, listen, it's okay, they're safe. What I wanted to ask was this. You do that. You don't phone up and say, oh, is this person? I'm phoning, Josephine Day. Don't hang out things as if you're telling me my Britain's Got Talent audition was a failure. Don't break it to me as if you're on TV. And it's all done by design. She asked if there's anything she could do to help me. Is there anything my Scottish Government and Council can do to help me? Maybe you can stop the block on me gaining employment. Maybe you can stop me from being banned from the Citizens' Advice and from the East Renfrewshire Council in my hometown. And every other bloody building I get banned from as well. Stop calling the police on me. Because I want you to accept accountability for failing fathers and children and the occasional great mother. So many people will be dying off this morning. A 10-degree drop in weather. If they can't kill us with what they stick in our blood, if our bodies are designed that well, that what we do is survive every single attack. And we do survive every attack. Your consciousness will never understand having no consciousness. Be aware of that. So the social services called and hung out the first 2 minutes of the phone call to check who I was and not telling me my mother was safe. Firstly, social services never do that to anyone. Never be making people fear that their parent might be dead by making a phone call to see that I'm okay. My mum has my phone number. All of my family has my phone number. Does that mean any of them call me? No, they don't. None of my family call me. So they would rather speak to social services. But was there a reason for this little upset to take place? Because if she can call me and all my family can call me and they don't bother calling me, it's done to cause trouble. And this is what the Eastern Star is. It's flooding your family. The Freemasons, the Eastern Star, your mad wee auntie. The Eastern Star are meeting up because there's something big going down. All over the UK, all over Europe, the Eastern Star are working something else out. There's 1,000 different programmes being played in your consciousness today. You're so gone with what they're playing on you. You're so done with the number of mind games being played that we're tuning out and we're going along with whatever narrative they're setting in their mindset. If you're liking me talking for whatever reason, I want you to be pressing the like and subscribe right now. I want you to do what you do with other channels, with other people. No, I don't actually. I don't want a coffee from you. I don't want food from you. I want you to know if you're at the very bottom and the end of your life, you've got a reason to live. If you've got no food, and no idea why you would want to eat it anyway, because if it's not poisonous, it's going to mean you're going to last that bit longer. Why would you want to last that bit longer in this absolute hellhole where they abuse and fund the abuse of children So still on this phone call with the social services yesterday, the woman's asked me, is there anything I need? And I told her the places that I'm barred from, and the fact that I can't obtain help from all the social services that have been funded to help people. I'm not allowed to gain help because it's run by silly little Eastern Star Freemasonic child abusers. It's run by Freemasonic women who abuse kids. And right now, at the time of the witches, they're going to abuse as many kids as they can. They're going to abuse family. They're going to abuse your friends. This is what the little witches do. Morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Why am I not racist? Huh? Why are you not racist? The number of people that call me racist, call me abusive, call me chauvinistic, call us lazy, an alcoholic, a drug addict. Oh, Darren, you've left your hat and it's balancing round about my head and my earballs right now, my friends. It's in the kitchen. Come get it. And for any friends that do consider me in any way still some type of friend or human to them, I love you too. Because I want to leave here, it's not because I don't have any feelings or care for you. And I know that you even mention or go out your way to say that you're going to be there for me. And I appreciate mothers and fathers going out their way to say those things to me. Because the social services still did not assist in getting any food, heating or hot water. But she would have done. But she would have only contacted the people that barred me from getting the help in the first place. And she would have asked them, why have you barred this guy? And as the phone call continues, she gets to understand why I was barred. Because she gets frustrated. Because we employ incompetence and we reward stupidity, and that's through all our government sectors, all of them. We have little pen pushers incapable of using pens. Every single thing you think you know is wrong. Everything you think you know is wrong. From the people you think you know their names, from what they're actually doing, we know nothing. So you can explain competently that the services designed to assist are actually being funded to abuse. The services promoted to aid are the services promoted to kill. And right now it's mainly women. And those women are funded by paedophiles, and those paedophiles are Catholic cult members. And Protestant is just Catholic. If they're in those big, in the Catholic real estate, and they're doing as the Catholic Church tells them, the Catholic Church is about to make a huge worldwide revival. You'll be seeing things in the sky, and you'll be believing what you're told to believe, the same way as you believed in those videos coming out of Wuhan, China 5 years ago when people were dropping down dead. The very reason we used to kill all the old folks in our homes, and we stopped people from seeing their grannies and grandpas die to cause severe pain, loss and injury to people, and then their souls harden and they become bastards to children and their family. And those bastards, the abusive women, they get funded. This is what is. This is what is happening. I've eaten chickpea curry for 4 days. Don't get me wrong, I get other things. Friends bring round some sugary snacks. In fact, my friend brought me around something I did not know existed. And I do have a lot of pasta in the house, so that's great. But frozen pasta? Bird's eye frozen cheese and pea pasta? What? I seen the love pouring up. It's still in there for you, my friend. I just don't think anyone would have froze pasta. But obviously I am so far behind not looking in these big fridges. Surely it's more convenient just to boil the pasta. But you may only have a microwave. I don't know. Is anything assisting you feel better? Is there anything assisting you get to see your children? Is anything assisting your children feel safe right now? If you can't see what's going on, and I know a lot of these Trump supporters, what, you're going to go back to the left side now and vote Kamala Harris, you creeps? You know they're going to attempt to make you so starving that the likes of Asda and Walmart, the same business, they're going to offer to feed you. They're going to offer to make sure you do not starve. And that is big business getting its foot right in there. Now you need to remember, Asda in my town employ a shed load of people. They bar people like myself for arguing back with them. But they don't bar Freemasons, I've noticed. A good friend tells me they would half the price of the goods for a Freemason and never answered back. Whether I stay on long or not this morning, I've no idea. Come on, how can 100 people be watching this and only 20 think that what I'm saying is worthwhile? Press that like button. If you want to press subscribe, do that, but who cares? What I'm saying's right. If you think it's totally wrong, you're a fool. These silly wee men going about here. Silly wee men that make sure kids aren't feeling protected. Silly wee men that break up family and tell you not to talk about it. Silly wee men that are quite happy your government sponsors feminism and child abuse. You want to see what good mood food is? Look at this. Here we go. That's what you want to be doing this cold day. Not going to a job that underpays you and doesn't respect you. Because when I was talking about Asda there, half of those people are on welfare, half of those people are on universal credit. That's right, the employees that wake up in the morning or do night shifts. So how can this company be making billions, millions every year in profit, possibly close to billions every year in profit? How can we possibly finance these workers that go to them to work through their government? How is that a thing that's happening right now? Because we kill off fathers, because we kill off mothers and we want families separated. And there's people there willing to separate themselves from their newborn babies for £15 or 20 bucks an hour. We don't have mothers and fathers anymore. We get sellouts. We have child abusing women that are funded. You can hear this message every single day on 1,000 different videos. And you still do nothing about child abuse. You do nothing about the abuse of children. You do nothing about fathers committing suicide. Maybe you'll cut off soon, maybe not. Now there's still 100 on here. And maybe most of you just flick on right now. Because we're going to flick on from this conversation as well. Flick on right now. Move to someone that's better to watch than me. And if you don't move to someone better to watch, you have to hit the like button, or else I'll just turn the whole thing off. Never come back on here until I get too angry or upset that people abuse kids. And that's most days. So there's a chance I can be on morning, noon and night, as long as there's some Wi-Fi signal. Burger King or McDonald's? Who do you prefer to poison you? So big business is going to swoop in and save your life by providing you emergency food. But I believe you're going to have to do something to get that emergency food, which will be to register yourself on some type of digital ID. Not that already, 40 odd countries or something like that have already done this. No, it's all separate governments deciding that they want to have digital ID. It just so happens to be at the same time. And there is no new world order in the age of Aquarius. This is your enlightenment period where they're going to ram everything from Satan, Beelzebub down your neck. And right now the little witches are planning it in their favourite days. Believe me, most of them will be gone in the next few days. They're sacrificing children right now, these little bitches. They're sacrificing children and breaking up our family. Fathers and children are being separated. Now you have to stop and listen to this. My children were abducted by a woman that called me a rapist. My children were abducted by the woman that called me a rapist. Now she lied about that. If there's women that have been sexually assaulted, and this woman lied about being raped. I know women that have been raped, and this woman lied about being raped by me. I know women from within 5 minutes walk that have been raped, and this woman lied about being raped. How can a woman do that? How can I ever trust the mother of my children after she said that about me? Now, she didn't just say that about me, she wrote that as a story. But I found out, and it was written in court documents, and she said in front of 3 higher judges that Women's Aid, a funded Scottish charity, wrote down this story about X-Man being a woman-beating rapist. And she said, I could use that story and get help, and she did use that story. I was called a woman-beating rapist. Now there's been 100 allegations since then, and every single one she makes, she's listened to. She's a proven child abuser, a proven liar that wrecks lives. And we've proven that Women's Aid have wrote these lies. A funded charity wrote the lies about a man raping a woman, and the woman used that story that Women's Aid, a funded charity, wrote. Our government funded Women's Aid. I told this story 10 years ago, and ever since then I've been having YouTube channels shut down while I've been going to court to try and see my children. I've been a stalker, an abuser, a terrorist, a rapist, sexual assaulting beast. You name it, I've had those allegations used against me. I've been thrown in prison as a terrorist. I've been beating off these Polish prison officers. I've been lifted in Scotland, in Glasgow and Paisley. I've been arrested at the airport coming off flights. I've had police Scotland drive up the tarmac as I land from Europe, and I've been arrested. I've had all kinds of special treatment to cause damage to me, my psyche and my person, and I've had no help as a father to see my children or even get to know them. So social services are asking me, do I want help? They know I've got no heating. They know I've got no water to wash my dishes in the kitchen that I'm sitting. They know I don't have any, because I've got gas central heating, I've got gas hot water, but I don't have gas. I've not had gas since my daughter was abducted. And son taken away, and life left in misery. And a house I don't own, which they call emergency accommodation, as they take my house from me and sell it to another punter while I've got the full paperwork as homeowner. The same idea. It's my children, my seed, my life has been taken away, and if you're a mother or father and you've had your child taken away and this is how you're treated, we need to stand together. Now, I did mention the fact that I do have unified pain, and this unified pain is the most important thing for mothers and fathers that feel as if they're at the very end of their life, that they're going to kill themselves. I don't want you to do that. I would rather give you my mobile number on this in front of 1,000 people or 100 people, however many's watching. I would rather do that and put myself in some sort of place of, I don't know, vulnerability. Is this not a place of vulnerability? I'm watching supposedly these wealthy YouTubers now that just within a few months can lose everything they've ever had. That's why I wouldn't take money off these scumbags. The parasites inventing the bots. So you do understand we have now AI running certain parts of certain countries. We have that AI complaining that AI's not been taken seriously. And the AI in the country that's running part of the state in a certain country just said she's had AI babies. And this has been taken seriously. Real family, fathers and children and mothers, we're not being taken seriously, but AI been given a position within a government, and then within a few months it's having 80 babies of AI babies. I mean, everything to do with anything we're up to right now is mad. Not that, I mean, just selling yourself for £20 an hour and waking up and sticking your children in one of these state schools. These state schools are having children taken to the principal's home and the child is being raped. They're making sure that the mothers and fathers are disabled and the children are disabled so they can rape and abuse children. They abuse the vulnerable. They make good, strong men and women, they make them the vulnerable. And then they make them breed, and then they make them children, vulnerable and abused and beaten. These children can be propped up at any point, given places within the media, and they're rapists and child abusers. The abused becomes the abuser. How can you not hear the message that I'm giving you? My children are being abused by a woman that's funded by a charity, that's funded by a government in a country I live, where we're supposed to have basic things like rights for men and women and family. We're trying to wipe out words, we're trying to wipe out family, we're trying to kill off children. If this isn't like similar to the days of Babylon 5,000 years ago, I don't really know. I think it would have been more high tech then. Although there were people going up and sacrificing children, they weren't doing it for 20 quid an hour in Asda and then signing on Universal Credit or signing on whatever it is and signing. And whether it's Australia or Australia, whether it's across in the States, America or through the States to America, makes no difference. Everything that's going on is the same thing. Everything that's going on in any country is the same thing. It's going to happen in your country. Like, it's trickled out in all different places and it all joins up. Like, it's sold to you that has been the greatest benefit that you're ever going to get for a family, for safety, for security, for love, for life, for happiness. What they're going to give you to chase you and steal off all of your God-given rights. And all of your God-given rights are already stolen from you and sold back to you by the predators raping and abusing your children. You trust those people? They fund women to call you rapists, and not one man or woman is reaching out. And you can be called a rapist tomorrow by your ex-partner. I'm sure there's women, there's going to be something that comes out to break women and throw them straight into prison in the very same respect as a man being called a rapist by a lying, boot, a child abusing beast. An Eastern Star feminist cow, a child abusing ratbag. Yes, you. And the thing is, whenever I mention Kasia, the most disgusting human being I've ever met in my life, and I went back to it, it's my fault. That's why it's my fault. It's my fault because I went to a woman that's abusive and a liar and a cheat and a child abuser. And I forgave that. Ah, but you need to forgive in life. You chose that. You need to forgive. How do you ever get back if that's what we've got? The beast is funded to be more beastly than any feminist beast you've ever known. People laugh at this. I know I'm a great comedian. I want to be waking up and working. I want to be doing something that men can do to go out and get a big bag of money and give it to the nonce that stole you and abused your children. That's all you want. That's all she wants. She's a nonce that abuses kids and she's funded to do it. Oh, look, I'm a pretty nonce that abuses kids. You're a nonce that abuses kids. You're a beast, a Catholic beast. You Catholic sellout beasts in Poland. Every one of you. 90% child abusing lowlife scumbags that are told what to do by the Catholic beastly church, protecting paedophiles. And we're doing nothing more than protecting child abusing women and funding them. Funding child abusing liars, pushing them to lie about being abused. I'm going to push you to lie about being assaulted and raped. I'm going to make sure you do that as a woman, because as soon as you do that, you'll wreck your family and see that man that loved and trusted you, he's never going to trust you again. You've called him a rapist. You know what? And you know, whenever he mentions it, it's him. The fact that he's mentioning being called a rapist, he's mentioning false allegations. He needs to live with that and deal with that. You'll break him. Even when the allegations are shown in court documents, you're going to have little effeminate child abusing boys and girls on here that want to show us the paperwork, while 1,000 Epstein child abusing lowlives still operate within your government and parliament. You scumbags. That's why you're the small brain. That's why they call you small brains. They call you small brains for very obvious reasons. And now I'm joining in with the predators calling you small brains, because that's all you deserve, small brains. Press like, press subscribe, small brains. There has to be a better way, there has to be a way out of this. I'm not in the woods. I can go back to my house and get nice and warm. I've got a bed to go in it at night, but none of that doesn't bring any joy or happiness. I sometimes go walking the street at night and I think about phoning you guys. I think about contacting you. I think about dropping you some information out of this swamp and talking to you. Because I don't have a telly. I don't have that. It's stuff. Now what I did see yesterday was having these things pointed at our face. I seen it at some YouTube short clip video where the people pointing their phones at their face are constantly getting like bright lights, dum 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 dum, like flashes in some sort of Morse code type thing. Maybe not Morse code, I made that up, but you know, like dink dink dink, flashing. What's a Morse code mannerism? I also watched Just Nate 67. Yep. 1967. What happened then? Something happened in Israel. But do you know what? All of that stuff that's going on in the world, in Scotland, we knew nothing. We still know nothing about 1967, except that Celtic won the European Cup. Brother Walfrid set up Celtic. Started them. Both Celtic and Rangers, the Catholic and Protestant sides of this, are big parts of the abuse that takes place in this country. They're big parts of the programming. As your big football teams in your country, they're big parts of the child abuse network which operates in your country. Same as the sports, media, TV, all publications and all big business. They're paedophile networks. The government is the #1 paedophile network, and the huge paedophile network worldwide is the Vatican. Every single sorority, every university, every fraternity, they've got their dirty wee claws on every single thing, so they're in your child's mind, and they're in your mind today and in mine. We can do nothing about that. We can do nothing about this. Soros-funded buildings that give out lovely little embossed certificates. You know those yellowy white ones that with a wee gold stamp and it's got an important person's name? I really want one of them. Man. Maybe I'd be able to get a job if I had one of those pieces of... Oh no, I'm a criminal. I'm a a rapist, a sexual assaulting, stalking terrorist. That's what this father is. That's how they can belittle fathers and never apologise and fund the downfall of fathers. Some people think it's funny, some people think it's a disgrace. Some people know that Scotland is a paedophile network. Some people know that the UK is the bigger paedophile network. And as we move through countries like America, that's where we advanced. In 1776, we advanced across there. We already had lots of colonies, and we opened up the paedophile network, killed off all the people that done all that, the great building. And we used vibrational frequencies to make what looked like a huge flood round the world. Because it's the vibrational frequencies messing with your mind, messing with society, messing with reality, with what you think solidity. Frequency changes all of that. Still get strange looks, still get dirty looks. But I guess as a child protection offering father amongst a paedophile network run by one of the biggest paedophile cults known as Scotland, I'm not going to get much assistance if I'm dealing with the assistance and safety of children. If I'm one of you little Eastern Star child abusing liars, funded to lie about fathers and funded to abuse children, then there's not much I can do. Have a nice day, whatever you decide to do. Creator of everything. We're all about to catch a frequency soon. It's in the comments you can see the brainless paedophile protectors. You can see the Polish paedophile collar protectors. You can see just by some of the comments. I do from time to time have a look at the wickedness that goes on in here, because I can, and it's mine. And I've taken lots of information and passed lots of information on, and I've got lots of information back, which I'm sure some of you might know already. I don't know what these guys want to do with you, but I won't be doing anything with your information, but I've got what I need. And you start to see family and friends behind these accounts. Family and friends, fake little boys that pretend they're mates to your face. And really they're just wee paedophile protecting bastards. I've already addressed that right enough. Because we already have the Eastern Star feminist cow cult, the Polish child abusing rats. I've told you every way that this methodology of child abuse and manipulation has happened. And in the comments they'll talk about the little things they don't understand, which is the vast majority of things I'm speaking about. Brainless little pigs. And I'm talking to the security services, you child abusing, paedophile protecting bastards. You've not shown up in the last few weeks, have you? Paedophile protecting bitch. You've not shown up, you paedophile little protecting, black and white checkered wearing low-life scumbag child abusing paedophile cult. I cannot stand the fact that I can tell you in detail how this paedophile network is funded and how families are broken. I can give you details of this, and all we have is the police and security services and little women, little Eastern Star Freemasons protecting the child abusing cult members. You parasites. Parasites. This is for fathers, this is for mothers, and this is for the safety of children. Brother, what are you yapping about? There's 1,000 videos. It just, I mean, the mentality to, you're sitting through this right now. You're sitting through the silly old father does the same thing anytime he comes on here. He wants to make sure that the funding of children no longer takes place through your government. What are we yapping about? I'm yapping about little faggots like you that endanger the life of children. And now we've got this type of language. This comes from the police. The protection of paedophiles starts at your government and goes through the police. Paedophile protectors. What are you yapping about? Instead of lying in bed, fiddling yourself, or in your toilet pretending you're working, go back and do some work. Or go and stand in the corner. Right, let's have a read at some of your things down here. I agree with you. I'm no MAGA supporter. Yous have all switched. All of those Make America Great Again with this mad business-like paedophile that's got his wee Russian thing bit in the side, Eastern Star, given by the Catholic Church. Now they're telling you to follow everyone in China. China's got about 1,000 different things going on, but everyone's telling you how great it is. It's just another invention of the Catholic Church. Communism and fascism. Which side do you want to step in? The Catholic cult rapes kids and invents all of this madness. So you don't feel anywhere safe. So your children have got nowhere to go. The only funding on here is for parasites. Charles is king. Charles is king. I'm sure he's king to a lot of people. I know a lot of people called Chick. Chick's normally a bus driver. Chick's normally got tobacco stains in his hands, nicotine stains in his fingers. Chick's normally got a wee mutt that runs down to Lee's. Chick normally smokes roll-ups. So you can call him a king if you want. 2 wings, same fallen angel. For whatever this god lowercase g is, you're right, the wings of this nasty little pedo bird is both left and right. So your Joe Biden left-wing nonsense that everyone must know, that the guys that rape their own kids, the women that rape their own children, women raping their own children, this Biden side, and then you've got the beastly MAGA side, the Trump side, people who beat and rape their own children and anyone else. It's just the same. It's people who beat and rape and take advantage and murder. There's no difference left or right. Let's see. Child sniffer. It's disgusting what you get on here. My children, the abuse was funded by the Scottish Government. In your country, the abuse is funded by your government. It's funding charities to abuse family. It's funding charity like Women's Aid to abuse children. It's funding charities like Edinburgh Women's Aid to write that you're a rapist and you're not going to ever be considered innocent until proven guilty. You're going to be taken and arrested and abused and assaulted by the police, by the paedophile protectors, because an Eastern Star child abusing liar is funded to say that. All this is called, all of it shows that fathers and children are not safe when a woman's willing to abuse. And right now, the vast majority of women are willing to sell out their kids and ex-partner. The vast majority of women's charities are funded by feminist men haters. I've not got to see my children. I've not got to know they're safe for, 3.5 years now, since the day where they were really abducted. I've had to go across to check to see if my children are safe, and when I go across, I'm hounded, I'm beaten, I'm thrown in prison cells, I'm called a terrorist. Everything that possibly could go wrong for fathers happens across in Poland, and my children were abducted and taken there. And I need fathers to stick together and actually come together and make sure this cannot happen through funded government charity. This has got to make sense to a handful of people at least. I understand you're here to protect paedophiles and those little men with collars, and understand your little vicious women, and you're only trying to protect your own mind. And the vast majority commenting are not human, are not real human. Human. Oh, it's a resonance. Oh, that's it. Never mind. There's nothing behind any of that stuff. Matthew, Ava, Daddy misses you so much, and not one person cares. Not one person cares in this country. Now why? Why did they phone me? Why did this group of nosy Nellies in East Renfrewshire Council decide to phone me? Because they thought I'd killed myself. My mum knew I hadn't killed myself. She just wanted the story. She could have phoned or text. Joseph, are you alive? Joseph, I know you're hungry. Here's some food. Joseph, here is this. You don't get that. He's vicious and he's angry. There's not. He really misses his children that were abducted. There's not. His children were abused by a funded charity in Scotland. There's none of the truth. There's this guy is in some way mental, and no, that's not true. Maybe to you I am. My life was funded by charity through my government to be ruined. My downfall was funded. The abuse of my children were funded. The theft of my house and money was funded by the government. Social services, they might phone up and ask you if you're safe, and if you tell them you've got nothing to eat, you're not warm, you don't have hot water, and you've got nowhere to turn, they'll tell you, don't worry, you've got Unified Pay and the charity you built and stuck on YouTube and no one's part of. You've got that. So maybe tomorrow you can just sit in your own wee pile of poo and breathe in there and reach out to no one and speak to no one, because that's what happened yesterday. That's what's happening today. There's no one there for you if you're a man. No one will be there. When they come to offer you services, they'll offer you nothing if you're a father. But pretty soon, the big businesses that don't pay you enough money to leave your children with paedophiles in a paedophile network, which we call state school, 15 quid an hour you'll probably accept to leave your kids with paedophiles. This is where we're at. We don't give a toss. But without and with all the things that we have to deal with, I'm going to be making it across to Poland. I have to make it across to Poland. And if they're going to assault me from the very first second I'm in, and believe me, when I left Europe to come back here, the police collected me from the airport. The police collected me from Glasgow airport, driving up the tarmac as if I'm some international criminal. Oh, this guy's a father, we really need to watch him. This is what happened in Scotland with Police Scotland. This is what happens when you stand against these freaks that fund the abuse. Family's broken. Children are broken because we fund the child abuse. Children are broken because you don't do anything about it. 50 people like, another 50 people subscribe. It's going to be shut down in another 2 or 3 weeks. If I come on most of the last few days, it'd probably be shut down by now because I lost the plot. I'm losing it. I'm losing it with having nothing and told you must survive while we steal everything that you've ever worked for. And the biggest thing that I worked for, the whole reason for my life was my children. The whole reason. I worked my ring off as a 20, 30-year-old. I worked my backside off as a teenager. I put everything into it from minute one when I was at school. Didn't care about the exams. I knew I must make money and I made lots of it. Bastards stole everything from me. The only thing I care about is my kids, and you do nothing to help. Do you care about your children? Do you love your children? I heard about a disabled woman. Her disabled son was at school. He wears an AirTag. You know, during the afternoon he was taken to the principal's house and raped. If you want me to put that story on, I'll put it on. Got it recorded. What I'm saying is, it doesn't matter what we put through your ear or into your mindset. You're ignoring it. You're ignoring funded child abuse. Funded child abuse. And how do they fund it? Through feminist charities. They'll write down stories that you were raping a woman. And then the woman will use the story to tell the police, and then the police will know it's not true, but you'll still be taken in. You'll still have your children abducted, and you'll still lose everything you've ever worked for. Children are being abused, and we're having Scotland fund it. My children were abducted, and the woman called me a rapist, and my life is now not worth living. People get out and giggle at this. I'm talking about child abuse and the abduction of my children. People don't walk up and go, do you know what, that sounds terrible. The Scottish Government funded the abuse. They funded a charity to have your children abducted. The woman that you love called you a rapist and abducted your children. No one helps. No one helps. No one helps fathers. They stand and they giggle. Losing heart. Men and women are no longer parents, are men and women. Men and women giggle at child abuse and don't understand that the abuse could happen to you and your family. Your missus is actually funded to abuse children. I thought I might have found a £1 coin on the ground this morning and bought myself some bread, because I've got myself some eggs in the house and I can have a toast and a roll, or bread and eggs. That sounds nice this morning. I've been eating quite a lot of cottage cheese and oil, but I've ran out of oil because it's expensive. Linseed oil is expensive when you buy it from farms. Anything is expensive when you buy it, but buying from farms is expensive, but that's the only place we should be buying from. You ignore child abuse. You ignore the step-by-step information that I've told you about child abuse. You write things like noodles. Wait, so is he homeless? Or does he have a place to stay at the very least? There's 1,000 videos there. Today I walked from my emergency accommodation. I own a home. I've got a fully paid mortgage. I've got the paperwork, but not the home. Because a private business called the Royal Bank of Scotland told me money was owed in my home. And Police Scotland assisted in stealing that home, which they've never proven that I've ever owed a penny to because I've paid off my mortgage. Now, I didn't really care about that because I was too busy dealing with the abduction of my children, which again, Police Scotland assisted the child abuser. Police Scotland seems to be assisting a lot of criminals, don't they? Police Scotland seems to assist the criminal, not assist the person that's been abused or the vulnerable children. They assist the criminal. That's why we fund criminals. And normally they're Eastern Star, feminist Freemasons. Always part of the Catholic cult. Always. So, yes, this guy has a bed and he's very lucky he's got a place to stay, and he's very lucky he's got a bed to lie in at night. What was the child abuse? Parental alienation and child abduction. Now, firstly, child abduction on itself. To frighten a child, to take them from their bed and drag them through different countries, that on its own is abuse. If your child gets abducted from her bedroom in your house, can you not understand that that is abuse? She's lying in her bed and she's taken in the middle of the night, and it's a funded charity that's given my ex-partner the money, the ability and the story to abuse children. So what is it you don't understand? His wife is laughing, you're right. She's not my wife. I was never married to Kasia the Beast, Kasia the child abuser. I was never married to a Kasia the child abuser. I do know other women in Poland called Kasia and they're the most beautiful women, but this woman was funded to abuse, she's funded to lie, and she's funded to make sure that she can use false allegations. Funded to make false allegations that ruin a man's life. Are you a man? Have you ever faced any false allegations? Kasia the Beast. That's true. Kasia's a beast. She's a beast that abuses kids. Those her kids. No, they're my kids. I plant the seed. How old are your children? My daughter's 12 years old, my son's 8 years old. I've not seen him in the last 3 years. My son still runs to me. My son needs to know me and see me. Even no matter how much, and I understand in the comments you're going to say, all the mental illness stuff, all the narcissistic stuff, all the not understanding that this guy is just want to see his children stuff because you can call him all kinds of names and tell him to commit suicide and all of that mad crap. My daughter and I had the best relationship. The best, since she was born, and my ex-partner was jealous of that relationship. She used to say, since my daughter was born, since my children were born, she says, like, they don't love me and they love you. And I understand that might have just been through the start of pregnancy, but she's always like that. I mean, the most important thing was putting makeup on, so people didn't see her without makeup, but it wasn't her children being born. Are you okay? I'm asked this every single day by these fake government lackeys that are funded to abuse kids. People always ask me, I'm okay. I have to be. You have to grow them. I have grown them. Hello, gorgeous guy. Hiya. He's so sweet. Such a gorgeous wee guy and his mum. It's hard to find beautiful, decent women that don't sell out. It's better to find women that don't sell out. It's better to find men that still act like men and fathers that don't sell out. But that's what we're run by. We're run by this. I'm sorry you need to say to this stinking old man that you're sorry. These are the sides to every story. There is other sides to this story. I stand and I only give mine out. I stand and I pour mine out. She doesn't care about saying anything because she's hiding her children and abusing her children today. I don't trust the Catholic cult. I don't trust it. They protect paedophiles. I don't trust Poland as a country. I don't trust Poland, but I trust Scotland less. I trust Scotland less because I know that we fund child abuse. I know that we have paedophiles and we protect them. I know we give them safe place to go, but we don't give families, mothers or fathers a safe place or a safe space. I know we abuse children and we fund the abuse of the children in this country, and I can tell you exactly the names and the places and positions of people doing that, and you don't care. You don't care. Mothers and fathers don't care about the child abuse that's ongoing. They want to be writing horrible things today. Let's see. Muffler Moose, you are so nice. It must be somebody called Muffler Moose. Nope, they aren't real Christians. There's a whole fake Christian revival taking place right now. There's going to be a huge Catholic revival. Huge. And they already are everything. Just call it lots of different names. They are the beast. And I know 1,000 people have mentioned Revelation 13 and I mean, everyone's mentioning end times and the eye of the beast and taking the mark in your hand or your head. Whether that means actually taking a physical mark, or they say you take the mark in your hand or your head. I mean, you can hold someone's hand and you can follow them holding someone's hand, or they can put something in your mind or you can believe them. I believe that's what they mean. I don't believe you're going to have a physical thing to buy or sell. Like you'll be led to that point. Don't get me wrong, I know there are things in people's wrists, especially in Europe, where they're buying or they're using vending machines and use opening locks with this. But to have something that can be hacked internally, I mean, you've got to know this is stupid. People are saying it's the start of the robot age, or the blending of robots and people, but the blending of people took place as soon as mixed marriages occurred. And now we are just one big mixed race. I was born a Catholic, but I would call myself, I remember seeing this a few weeks ago, a WASP, and I've always understood about white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, but I would never consider myself a Protestant because I was born a Catholic. But I do understand why they're Protestants in the first place, and that would be the way I think any Christian would tend to lean. With more of a Protestant view. But There's nothing that's not militarised. There's nothing that's not used against us. There's nothing that's not... There's nothing that's there to assist your life or make you healthier or give you a clearer mind or give you anything that makes you feel better. I want to see my son and daughter. I want to wake up in the morning and have a purpose to go somewhere and work at something that I enjoy. I want to be able to do that and have a life with my children and have a bed and have hot water and have heating that every man and woman in this town deserves. I want to have a safe space so my children, my son and my daughter feel safe round about me. And Scotland doesn't fund paedophiles to be protected. They fund fathers and mothers to be protected so their children feel safe. Because that's the only place children feel safe, with their fathers and mothers. So why is it child abuse? Anytime you're separating a safe loving parent from his children, that's child abuse. Anytime you're taking a safe loving parent out of the setup of a family unit and you're breaking that down with money and funded charity to abuse children. I hope it's starting to make sense to you now. I'm not it depends what you call work. I've built my own business in Australia. I've built my own business wherever I go. I prefer to work and work hard. I've always worked and worked hard. In Scotland, the paedophile protectors are stopping me from gaining any employment because I tell you this. I tell you that they're funding feminist child abusing charities like Women's Aid. I tell you these things, and the Scottish Government hate it. The feminist cults hate it. The Catholic cults hate it. The Freemasons hate it. And my town's run by all of these people, and so they hate me. They want to come and kill me. Are you having... I mean, some of the things I'm seeing flying overhead right now, and this is not in any way conspiracy. I could show up and get my phone and I'm watching specialised flying equipment going overhead, like 5 red lights, 2 green lights, and it's shining down in all the houses. I don't know what type of equipment our police are using right now, but it's been militarised like everything else, like your food, like your family. Your family's been militarised so children feel unsafe. Fathers are no longer protecting anyone but themselves and their little homosexual mindset, which makes children unsafe, which makes family unsafe. And then you've got the feminist child abuser, which makes children unsafe and families feel insecure. Children are being abused by women that are funded. Why would you fund a child abuser? Why would you fund anyone willing to abuse children? Women are doing it. Women's Aid does it. Edinburgh Women's Aid funded it. I can tell you. You want to put some green little pictures? Aloha Akbar. He lost kids. Why? There really is very little point in coming on anything like this unless you know 99% of people on here want you to kill yourself on here so they get a little bit of fun in the morning, or they want me to strip down so they can have a wee fondle with themselves. Good morning to all you people saying hi to me. When are we going to get our men and fathers back? When are we going to have men and fathers back on here? You reach out to me today, you contact me today. We need men and fathers part of this. We need men and fathers here to protect their children. We can no longer have the Scottish Government funding charities that abuse children. We can no longer have Scottish charities that are funded to make sure families insecure. We can no longer have children being raped and beaten and abused by the services we set up to protect them. And in Scotland, that's what's happening. We're abusing children. We're tearing family apart and we're funding the beasts to do it. No, lad. Nobody wants that. Normal people want you to get back to your senses and get your life together. Go tell us what you mean. Explain that. Explain that. Just another ziggy. Explain what you mean get back to my senses. If I have to get anywhere close to making sense of any of this, then children need to feel safe and child abuse and charity cannot be funded. Does that make sense to you? You little rat. Look, so many police on here. There's so many little fake boys on here. Oh, I don't quite understand this. Why don't you go? Because you're upsetting me. Shut up, or I'll beat you up. And I mean that, I'll slap you till you bleed. Come across. Come here. Boy, you stand in that corner. I'm getting pretty sick of you scumbags on here. I'm telling you about a systematic child abuse, the funding of systematic child abuse in a country willing to kill children, and a country willing to abuse and fund feminist child abuse. I've told you the names of the people. I've shown you the positions. Everything's there. And I've still got little scumbag parasites on here coming for the security services, talking nonsense, making children feel unsafe. You parasites. If you're a father or mother, honey, you press like right now. There's over 100 people watching this couple of second segment. Press that button. Do not let children feel unsafe. Stop allowing charities to be funded to rape and abuse. We're funding paedophiles to be protected, and we're funding fathers to feel vulnerable while their children are being abused. You get laughing giggle at that, you wee Freemasonic Catholic cult member. You parasites. None of you frighten me because I don't have a reason to live. None of your wee comments get in here. But they do upset me because I want to be dragging you out your wee hot bed and making sure that you feel the pain that you cause, your government cause, your stupidity causes. It's your fault. It's you. You I'm looking at right now. You're the parasite that makes children feel unsafe. You're the parasite that makes paedophiles feel protected. Pricks. You want to like and subscribe to this? Do you know what? I'm seeing this channel grow. Do I care? Couldn't care less. I'm not one of your wee sellout piglets. I won't say, oh, essay, he was graped. No, I was called a rapist by a funded charity. And I'm not a rapist. And rapists, real rapists, they're protected. Real paedophiles, protected. Real child abusers, protected. Not just protected, funded. We fund them. We're funding paedophiles. We're funding child abuse. And I'm living every day of this funding and paedophilia. I'm living every day knowing that Scotland is the paedophile network. Get off now. It's time for every one of you to go. You want something read out? Gary Glitter, exactly. Shows you. That's who we fund. People walk out and they smile. Then they hear child abuse, they turn their head. Then they hear the words rape and they go, oh, you're hurting my feelings. Yeah? Wait until a charity's funded to commit false allegations. Wait until a charity's funded to protect paedophiles. Wait until you see that all leads back to the Catholic cult and the Freemasons. Every single thing, every part of it, every takedown in your society is the Freemasons. They'll be taken down. They're part of the beast. They're controlled by the Catholic. They're controlled by that wee Pope, wee man with a wee hat and a wee collar. He feels protected. We've already got the Polish paedophiles protected. Don't worry about that. The Catholic cult doing anything its Big Brother says. Big Brother? What do you mean Big Brother? Poland is simply the little brother of the states abusing all of this. Started by the paedophiles and paedophile networks. It's just, I can never believe that you've got women to sell off children. I used to think you could look at someone and have some idea that I trust this, but you've got no idea. The paedophiles are the people in Parliament. 2036, what's happening then? What's coming in 2026? Also Sophie's your first girlfriend. Going forward, Joseph, what's the plan? Well, I don't really know. I know I need to get an idea of where that money's coming from. I have a few friends that have asked me to do some things for them, but I can't afford the basics. Like, what plan do you have? I'm planning not killing myself because the only option I seem to have is kill yourself. That's the only option, and that's why I'm on here talking about it. That's why 8 out of 10 parents that kill themselves are fathers. 8 out of 10 parents that commit suicide are fathers. Alright, do you know why that is? Because it's funded, because we abuse children, because they feel helpless. And this is what it is, your governments are teaching. This is taught helplessness. You have nowhere to turn by design. Not our prob. Funding child abuse is your problem. You seem to think that the government could say, oh, government funded housing, government funded assistance, government funded. Do you know who funds it? Do you know who funds this? It's the citizens. Do you know what citizens is? But it's the people-funded charities, people-funded housing. Every penny they have is from me and you. Every penny this government gets. And they're busy giving it to paedophiles. They're busy giving it to prop up these child abusing feminists. Every penny they have is your money. Every penny the government steals it from you, and they give it to protect paedophiles. They give it to protect feminists. They've stole my children and abducted them to Poland. That charity was a funded charity. That woman was funded to abuse children. Men and women come walking past every second going, I'm going to hide from the words that you say because it hurts my ears. You said rape. Oh no, how many people feel offended? The man said rape. I was called a rapist. And now YouTube would not pay me because I used the word rape. YouTube wouldn't pay me because I tell you of sexual assault. Because I don't hide the language which you've been told to edit. Your children must know the language I'm speaking so they can be safe. You as a father must understand what I'm saying so you can grow the hell up. You as a mother must understand there's funding if you become a beast. And all of this must end. All of it. You seem to be the only one with a problem. I'm talking about child abuse and the abuse of all our children through our governments. What do you mean? You thick little boy. What evidence they had you abused? What evidence they had you abused children? Like, you're going to have to just stop, man. If you can't pick up the basics, if you can't pick up the basic for me telling you, children are abused. The government funds the abuse. The charity which assists the abuse is funded. What part is it you don't get, you wee thick thief? What is it you don't understand? What kind of amount of failures on here, you lowlives? It's a wonder you are still... It's a wonder I'm still on YouTube. Of course it's a wonder. They don't like fathers and men in YouTube. They want wee ponces in YouTube. They want child abusing liars and paedophile females in YouTube. They want feminist Catholic child abusing liars. They want Catholic priests to come up with new things that make you think, wait a minute, the missing link, oh, that's a real thing. Every single thing I was taught since childhood is a barefaced liar backwards. And everything you're learning now is even worse than what I learned. No, they want content creators. Shut up. No, they want... What's a content creator, you foolish wee boy? They want you to be edified. They want you to make sure that how you speak changes to the way they want you to speak. And YouTube is there to do that. YouTube's an algorithm to make sure you speak in society around this world how they accept. And you don't mention paedophiles. You don't mention sexual assault. You don't mention the government is the one raping and abusing your children. You don't mess the Catholic Church is the one that owns all this real estate and rapes and has paedophiles protected. You don't mention anything on YouTube. So it's not content creators. It's little drones. It's little droids that don't have any mind. And yous all start to go, the security services empties this place when the truth flows out. You think you get content creators telling you the truth and that's going to be pushed through your algorithms so you get the truth? This is the truth. The truth is you don't protect children that are put in a vulnerable position. The truth is you as a woman abuse kids and you're funded to do it. The truth is, you as a father are nothing more than a stupid little boy putting your child in danger, and you've sold them out for 20 quid an hour. None of yous deserve the respect. Yous are coming on here as security services. Are we needing to phone some help for this guy? Oh, who can you phone to help me? Imagine, this is Thursday morning. Get a job, pal. Imagine, this is Thursday morning. Come and give me a job. Come on. I'll fight you for £1,000 in the street and people can fund that. I'm sure people would come and fight me because you might be much bigger than me and knock me out. And whether or not I get knocked out or whether or not I knocked you out, I would love the pain. I'd love the pain because right now the pain I live in this life knowing that children are abused because of rats like you try and avoid the subject, you try and mix it and move it on. The security services are here to mix and move on the subject. They don't want you talking about or understanding that your children are the ones on their list next. Your children are the ones on the list next. Your children could be watching this in Poland. They could be watching this in Poland, but no, I doubt it. Because the Polish services stop this kind of thing from getting through. When I travelled Europe and I went to every single Polish embassy, I was I was hunted down in every country. When I went to every one of their parliaments, the police and security services were sent after me the same as they're sent after me here. Why? Because I'm a father and I'm a man willing to tell you the truth about paedophilia, false allegations and child abuse, which is all funded through your government, and they don't have anyone like me on here willing to tell you the truth, because if there was a content creator, they couldn't say any of the words that I'm using, because they're too busy wanting money for themselves. Give me stuff, pay me off, I want things. And then you've got wee rats, oh, this is Thursday morning, get a job. Children have been abused on your watch. Children have been abused on your watch. You come here and we'll make sure we can make money, but we'll make it from your face. Well, no, it's just putting it on here so people can see what you are. I know that most of you are cowards. Most of you are cowards. Most of you are parasites that would abuse kids. Most of you are feminist junkies, liars and thieves and child abusers. And each day, as a father, I need to put up with that. I need to put up with the abuse of my children, even though I'm telling you the charity, it's still being funded. The government are still funding things. The government are still paedophile protectors. Smoke some weed, mate. I will, but I can't afford food right now. You brain dead Freemasonic Catholic cult member child abusing rats. I'm going to be late for work at this rate. I know. I'm sure you're going to have a lovely day at your work. And I'm sure I would have a lovely day if I came along with you. Children get abused every day. It's terrible. And action should be taken. But what will screaming outside Lidl at 9 AM on Thursday achieve apart from make you seem mental? Well, I tend to do this any morning that I like, outside any store that I like, so people get to hear the message that I want to tell. Now, I understand a little effeminate boy, low-life scumbag like you wouldn't quite understand why the vast majority of people don't get this story. It's because men like me won't go and tell it. But when men like me are willing to go out and talk about child abuse and talk about the funding of the abuse, then some little effeminate boys might get that message and they might start being men. I don't expect you to be a man, you little freak. I don't expect you to wake up one day and stop fiddling your wee tadger over pictures on YouTube. I don't expect you to do anything to help children. I know the vast majority of you are part of the paedophile protection network. I know the vast majority of you go down to the Catholic cult and you try and wash away your sins on a Sunday. You freaks. The men in that building with the collars abuse kids. The men in the buildings with those collars, calling themselves Catholics, abuse kids. My children were abducted to Poland and the Catholics are abusing kids. I couldn't care if every man here wanted a square go to come and fight me right now. I would just accept the pain because I need to watch the crappy comments coming up the screen, and I take the pain. I take the pain from these silly little effeminate boys and girls willing to abuse. So I might look mental to you, but the fact that you're talking about me being out and going over what child abuse is taking place and the fact that it's funded and you do nothing tells me you're the parasite, tells me you're the mental case, shows me that you're the ones that are willing to abuse children. Oh yes, kids are abused every day, but what's standing at this time doing this for? You've got no idea how to affect anything in life, you fool. You've got no idea. Are you just a little cupboard still lying in his bed? Morning, buddy. Yes, you are a real trailblazer. I'm a real trailblazer. Thanks very much. That's obviously a compliment. Oh no, is that a backhanded compliment because you're really smart? Oh, silly me. Children are being abused and you're ignorant. You're an ignorant pig. Lucky charm on Daniel. Haha. A whinging whinger. Are you it? A leprechaun? No. Why did you allow it to happen? Because I'm weak and useless. Being a weak and useless man, I allowed the abduction and abuse of my children because I'm weak and useless. No, I was arrested by the police because she used false allegations that I was a rapist. That's what happened. when you are called a rapist, the police tend to believe the woman, and innocence until proven guilty goes out the window. And if you're a man, and I know there's maybe a lot of like little boys on here, but if you're a man, you won't take that. If you're a man, you'll stand up for fathers and children. Why are you a coward? I'm a coward because I tend to want to please myself. It's like the end of it. Like right now, I want food, I want a drink. I don't want to be going through this. I don't want to be stood outside Lidl on a Thursday morning while all you smart people don't have to go outside Lidl. I want to wake up and see my daughter and son in their bed, but my son and daughter were abducted by a woman that was funded to abuse them. Abduction is child abuse. Parental alienation is child abuse. It's psychological manipulation of the child so the child hates half who they are. All children know that mother and father is half of who they are. Now the Scottish Government are funding the Polish women to abuse and abduct the children and to hate me, their father. Now you're allowed to hate me, but my children need to have the right to find out if I should be hated, or if I should be loved, or if daddy's willing to be in baby's life. It shouldn't be a funded government telling me I can't see my kids through a woman that called me a rapist and all of that's untrue. I should be getting help from mothers and fathers and families, but I don't. I don't get it because the security services are on here and they protect paedophiles. I've just told you the whole system is flawed to the point where paedophiles are protected and fathers are killed. Paedophiles are protected and fathers are killed by the paedophile network, which we call the Scottish Government, which we call the Catholic Church. It was 90% Catholic Church members, which my children have been taken to. It's the Catholic cult which is protecting it. It's the police and the prosecutors in Poland, in Gorzów, Kopolski, that are protecting child abusers. Yeah, the BBC protects child abusers as well, but I mean, everyone in our communities in the UK are funding child abuse. I know any father that has his children taken away within even the first hour, they're going to be crying and they're going to be worried about the state of their child's mind, and the state of their mind starts to depreciate from that very hour onwards. Any father, any mother that has their child abused. I told you about a story about a woman that had to face this, where her son is taken from school and abused. Her son was taken from school. What are you doing at Asda on a Monday morning? What are you doing telling your story to people? Can you not keep that a secret? Because the Freemasons might come and kill you if you don't keep it a secret that children are being abused. The Catholic cult might keep it a secret. No, as parents, as mothers and fathers, if you see anything happen untoward towards any child, you protect that child. You protect that child. If any child is suffering because of any man or woman, you go and you help that child. Take care of yourself. You want me? Is it? Freemasons can't hurt you if you have Christ. None of these people worry me in any way. I have no fear of any of these paedophile protectors. I've got no fear of the Catholic Church. I've got no fear of the Freemasons, Jesuits, Eastern Star. I've got no fear of any of these people. What I'm telling you is they're funded to break family and abuse kids. No, I fear God himself, that's it. I'll invite any one of you 10-foot men that are dead big and dead strong and get lots of weapons to come and get me. I couldn't care less about the safety of me or my life. I don't care about it. I care about mothers and fathers and children having safe passage to have a good life. I don't like the fact that I'm telling you the Scottish Government funds child abuse. I've told you each step of the way children are being abused and you're ignoring it. You're ignoring child abuse, and that just shows what you are. Good morning, sir. Right. Whew. We can breathe. We can go in and get some food. Have a wonderful day. It's been a very interesting morning. What have you done with your hair? I do like your hair. You've done a lot with that. Maybe put the colours through that and use the hairdryer before you go to work today, alright? Children deserve protection from you. Take us shopping, Joe. I don't actually have money to take you shopping, I'm afraid. I was just saying that. Are you at Lidl? You want to come? I don't want to hurt the people at Lidl too much because I've already had them phone the police. I've already had them phone the police that have came a few times, but the police would end up arresting these guys because they're wasting police time. Because you have the right to let people know, especially when children are being abused and the safety of children is affected. You've got the right as a mother or father, or even just a human being, to go and talk about that. We don't want our governments or charities abusing children. You might not understand that this type of abuse is one of the worst type of abuses children can face. I see the face of little effeminate boy men's all over the place, and I'm going to catch up with you guys. For the good fathers and great fathers that have reached out and continue to reach out, we need to keep fighting, guys. Our children deserve our safety, our children deserve our help, and the paedophiles and funding, we need to take them down. We need to get rid of that. Women's Aid must stop receiving funding. Fathers need to gain funding. Fathers and children need help. The brutal abuse of family, fathers, children is totally ignored. I understand women are abused and beaten more so. I'm glad there are some help for women, but we do need to watch. Women aren't the same as what they used to be. It's not feminine. Femininity's gone. Shut up, Joe. Press like, press subscribe, and never come back here again. Let's see. You're feminine enough for all of them. That's right, says a faceless little boy. Faceless, you know that? You see how all the hate comes from faceless people that put on masks and run up and try and give psychological advice. Oh no, you're feminine because I'm hiding my face because I'm a big strong man. I'm hiding my face as a big strong... You're not strong. You're not a man. You want to come here and beat me up and show me how tough you are? Show everyone how tough you are? Come and do it. I want a reason to feel again. Not because my left hand is frozen cold, but my heart is even colder than that and my mind is broken. I know there's lots of people out in very similar situations feeling sorry for themselves and looking like little idiots on YouTube. I know I'm looking like a little idiot on YouTube. I get to talk about the things I want and I don't sell myself out and I don't change my language to fit what YouTube tells me. I don't follow the Google algorithms so you little prats out there feel safe with my commentary, because my commentary is who I am and I'm telling you the truth. If you want to be that little Freemasonic sellout child abusing parasite, continue what you're doing. I'll say a prayer for you when I go home. Jesus loves you, thank you very much. Man, I love you, thank you very much. If you seek him, he'll find you or something. We are all craving croissants. Very good, that's great. Nice to hear. If I could afford 4 croissants, but it's 4 for £2. Do you want me to get you this? I'll bring them up to Auchenback. I'll bring them up to the top of Barhead for you. Thank you for giving me a giggle this morning. This father I'm a miserable old man. I know I'm a miserable old man. But this miserable old man deserves you to walk up and give him a cuddle sometime. Walk up and give me a wee pat in the back rather than a punch in the head. Take care, brother, to you too. Even if someone wants to help him, he doesn't read comments. Oh, okay. Did you go grey in your 20s? I went grey when I was 17. I think if you've had your tonsils or adenoids taken out when you were a child, I think there's a much higher chance you're going to have grey hair and you're going to have lots of little illnesses as you're growing up. And bad breath. Have a lovely day. That's the Scottish Fire and Rescue Squad here. Give them some love. Give the Scottish Fire and Rescue Squad some love. Our local Chinese family from the main street always walk about the smiliest people on earth. And our local mothers, which have faces as if a pit bull's chewing a wasp. Have a lovely day. It's been wonderful speaking to you and seeing all these marvellous people. I hope you get your croissant or your cheap box of Quality Street. Tesco £6, but at Lidl there's £4.39. Let's stop child abuse then, mothers and fathers. Let's stop funding it, Scotland. Let's stop Women's Aid from abusing any more children. Mothers, Eastern Stand mothers, stop abusing kids. The men and fathers protecting us. It's always nice to see. They come here most mornings, these guys, buy some healthy food. They don't go to Baines. Baines is for the coppers. But I want to shout out for a few of you, please. You've came and you've spoken to me like gentlemen, ladies. So I do want to give, although I've caned Police Scotland on here, I want to give a few of them a shout out. So a few men, a few fathers, and a few competent people in my local town. But we need to build from this hand. We need to build from a handful of us. 99% of the comments are going to be about abuse. Yes, you shoot yourself off for today. Love you, brother. Eat only local food. We're only going to stock up. Here, man, your life is disappearing in misery. Try to enjoy what little you have left, says the faceless monkey. Right, have a lovely morning. I have over 100 likes. Never had that before. Ooh, I wonder if that makes my children happy. I wonder if my daughter is going to lose the fear of seeing me, because my daughter's frightened to see me. If your son or daughter's taught to fear you for absolutely no reason, we need to question that. Have a lovely day. I like you sometimes I don't like you. That's just how it is. Bye bye.